I'll be in about 20 seconds.
I appreciate the co-op.
I'm just making sure.
Alright, let's let it rip.
Thank you for coming to our Campus Recruitment for Small and Medium-Sized Enterprises webinar. What we are going to be covering today is how to improve your ROI on campus recruitment activities, making your college employment brand remarkable, using the web to pinpoint connectors, and this references the tipping point, and then building a strategy versus planning events and attending fairs. So what I wanted to do is pass over our control here to Cameron Laker, our CEO, who will be walking us through this webinar here today.
Thanks, Jeff. Hi, everyone. As Jeff mentioned here, we've got specifically the topic around campus recruitment. And before I jump into things and kind of explain, as I jump into the core of the presentation, I want to put a disclaimer out here. First of all, there really hasn't been much as far as innovation in and around the campus recruitment strategies and actually tools and even websites to use. And what you're going to see today is essentially a bit of a bootstrap, unique strategic view on how to do campus recruitment. Now, I'm sure there's 15 other things that you could do, such as career fairs and so forth. And I didn't want to spend time talking about that. So specifically, what I want to do is touch on these 4 objectives. Before I do that, a little bit about Mindfield Group. We are based in Vancouver, British Columbia, founded in 2005. We are what is termed as a recruitment process outsourcing firm. And essentially what that means is we become our client's branded recruitment department, either managing all of their open requisitions over a period of time, or augmenting and supporting a current in-house recruitment recruitment department. You'll see the logo at the bottom, the Recruitment Process Outsourcing Association. We've been a member of them for just over a year, and it's a collection of RPOs across North America sharing best practices and really bringing increased awareness to this unique recruitment model. We have a North American-wide client base and recruiting capabilities. We are based in Vancouver, but we deliver our services completely remotely all across North America. And the types of clients we work with are really in a variety of different industries, anywhere from retail, technology, construction, and health services, just to name a few. And very happy to say we just moved into this fabulous, massive loft in downtown Vancouver. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of a snapshot of what it looks like here internally. The lighting on my BlackBerry phone obviously doesn't take the most high-res pictures, but to give you a bit of a handle, funny enough, the space we moved into used to be the old Pender Ballroom, so it actually used to be a dance hall back in the 50s and 60s. Here's a quick list on who we work with and specifically who likes us. Just a quick list of some of the firms that we've worked with. Again, just to give you a handle here on the different industries, and some companies you may recognize, some maybe you don't. You can see some major hourly employers here that we work with, as well as corporate clients in both the tech, finance, and banking, and even manufacturing business. So a little bit about myself. I founded the company, again, in late 2005. Previously worked at a very specific organization called Advancing Canadian Entrepreneurship. Now, why that has any bearing on today, I'll give you a little bit of handle. Some of you on the line may be familiar with Advancing Canadian Entrepreneurship and possibly SIFE. What ACE is, it's a national non-for-profit organization that works with universities and colleges across Canada. Specifically what they do is we used to group groups of students on campuses, and they would go out and take what they were learning in the classroom and go out in the community, all in their extracurricular hours, and create economic impact for others. Now, why this is critical is, when I worked there for 3 years, my job was to go out and identify and find the top campus recruitment, the top students on all the campuses, working with deans, working with faculty, and identifying what's termed as kind of these connectors on campus that could help me go and identify the top students. We took the program from approximately 22 campuses to, at the peak, was about just over 50 across Canada. So there's some really unique things here that I'm speaking from very specific experience. Obviously, there's some newer strategies, but identifying these people, and more importantly, how these individuals are looking for jobs and the change in the generations and so forth is really critical in how you approach campus recruitment. SIFE you may be familiar with. ACE is tied in the SIFE, and SIFE's a global student organization that's in about 1,300 campuses worldwide in I think over 40 different countries. So a lot of this today is based on the learning that I've got over a 3-year period, working with pretty much every university and college across Canada, trying to identify these top students. I'm personally a BCIT business grad at a local business management program here. Some of you may be familiar with BCIT. If not, it's the British Columbia Institute of Technology. Also a member of the Entrepreneurs Organization here locally. So I'm just going to pass it to Jeffrey for some housekeeping, and we'll get into the meat of this.
So thank you, Cam. What we'll be doing is sending you all a link to access this webinar. So we're taking a recording of it, and you'll be getting that towards the end of next week. As well, if you have any questions for Cam here, you'll see on the right side of your screen there's a question and answer box. If you can submit any of your questions, and we've got some time set aside at the end of the presentation, and we'll try and definitely answer as many questions as we can. As well, if you'd like to learn more about Mindfield Group, you can visit our website at mindfieldgroup.com, or you can dial that number there and press 2, and you'll be connected with one of our salespeople here.
Great, thanks, Jeff. Okay, so let's get into this now. I know you didn't sign up for this to hear about Mindfield Group and my educational background, so let me get into the campus recruitment strategy specifically for SMEs and really competing with the big guys. And the reason I say this is I've built this webinar and these ideas off of the fact that the majority of people on this call don't have $250,000 a year to put into travel, campus recruitment fairs, and so forth. So the key strategies that I want to talk with today, number one, is build a campus recruitment site and making it cool just like the Fonz. Now, the Fonz, unfortunately, isn't cool anymore, and Norso is a website that was built in 2001. The second key piece I want to talk to as far as the strategy goes is identifying key student groups and developing tactics to go target them and connect with them directly. The third piece is how you can leverage the web right now, and specifically the world of social networking, to connect with these top students and identifying them. And then finally, focus your marketing efforts on a broader scale. Look for the ideal candidate and the talent you want versus the geographically or the local campuses you've got in your community. So, building a college careers website, number one. Cool is obviously a very subjective term, but there's some key things that I do want to chat around. This is, for the most part, with who I've seen on this webinar today, you've all got marketing departments, probably numerous different people. What we're seeing, and this even links into an overall broader corporate recruitment strategy, but a student recruitment site and a campus recruitment site is absolutely mandatory if you want to go and attract these people. The reason why I say this is if you've got some hyperlink on your website that says, join our company or be, and then it ends up in your Outlook, it's probably not going to work too effectively. So here's 4 key points that I think that really need, or 4 key pages. So the simplistic design of this can be fairly well done and pulled off in a short period of time. I really see 4 key pages that are actually going to be critical to this. And again, there's obviously, this is just my thoughts on it, and it can be 5 pages, 3 pages. I've seen it done effectively with 1. But about us. And the first section on a good college careers website is, what do we do and what are our different departments? You think about the idea of, many of you have seen some of these college careers websites that, or new grad or campus recruitment websites, and it's, interested in a job or internship here, click here to send it in. Well, I think there's huge value in describing what the different departments are and what is it that your company does. You got to keep in mind that the most part of the companies out there is students don't really understand what you do as a business, and explaining this in a very simplistic way and how you guys are organized internally will help give a little bit of direction to these individuals and also give you a competitive edge when they go send their resume out to cyberspace to one of your competitors. Why us? A really compelling story on why should anyone care about you? Why should anyone care about working for you? What is the value, and specifically, what is the real employment value proposition that you've got? The 3 is meet our people. And if you've got the ability to put videos and testimonials and pictures, this has got huge value. Introducing your culture and introducing some people that may be like-minded to the ones you want to attract, maybe a recent grad, a 30-second clip on why that individual joined your company is going to the $500 you have to pay for that video, if you have to pay for it at all, is going to have huge weight in your ability to attract these people. And then finally, a very clean and simple way for people to apply. Not everyone's going to have a resume. The thought is they hopefully do, but what if they're on campus and they're spending some time on one of the campus computers and they're looking at your website and they don't obviously have their resume on their desktop because it's not their computer. So a little bit around two things. One, if you don't have an internship program, I think that's something everyone needs to look at because it's a great way to go and funnel talent into your organization and test people out. So giving an opportunity to apply to an internship, and then again, giving an opportunity for people to state interest in your specific departments, which you ideally have lined out in the About Us section. So this is more of a technician approach to what this may look like, but if people are looking at how they should go build this out, my thought is these are probably the best 4 pages to go use. And what I like about this is the majority of them you consistently can go add to it. So on the apply page, obviously, what's critical is you use your ideally your applicant tracking system that you have in place and list out the different departments. So not necessarily a specific job, but if you're interested in our marketing department, if you're interested in our sales department, if you're interested in our operations department or manufacturing or engineering, that's what you want to have here, and have them go apply to a department that obviously has got some kind of a pitch and explanation on why that department's got value. Some other details to go into the site. There's a couple key things. Internship applications is obviously key. If you don't have this going, you really should have a look at it. I mean, you can even get government subsidies to be doing this type of stuff. It is a very effective way to go build your pipeline for campus. But not only that, but if you give the students a good experience, they're going to speak very positively on campus, which is ultimately going to improve your employment brand. The department-specific pipeline applications, which are referenced on the Apply Now page. So you've got departments in your organization, and it's important that individuals can go apply to specific departments. A day in the life story. This may be a bit of a snapshot of a day written in text, or if you can do it in video, obviously is going to be a heck of a lot better. An explanation of the culture is what we're finding is absolutely critical right now for specifically Gen Y to make decisions on where they want to go work. They want to go work in the high majority of individuals. They want to know what the culture looks like before they're going to accept a job. And believe me, they're going to have numerous job opportunities. So you have to be extremely competitive, and your culture can be your best ally and your best selling piece. Explaining what your company really does. I'm blown away that the students are taking a 4-year program, but really don't have a lot of, especially engineering students or even business students for that matter, is they're not being taught really how specific industries and how companies are fitting into that. The explanation of what your company does and removing the technical jargon and really getting down to what is the crux of, what's the problem that your company solves in the world? Why are you in business? I can't emphasize this enough, because I do believe that this is a huge competitive advantage if you very clearly explain what your company does. If you, a marketing student, for the most part, if you're a web-based ERP system, right, and say, oh, we do web-based ERP and we're changing the world by making it easier for organizations to manage their entire company from the web, that's not going to mean a heck of a lot to a lot of different people. So really explaining in more of a simplistic form what it is your company does and what problem in the world does your company solve. A Flickr widget. Some of you may be familiar with Flickr. This gives a very simple way for you to go take pictures of your office, pictures of parties or staff events that you can go place up there, so people can actually go and click through and get a handle on what do people look like that work for your organization. What does your office look like? What types of events that you hold? This will have its weight in gold, and it's a free tool. Join our Facebook page, and I'm going to talk about the Facebook page here in a second, but this to me is you're more likely to get a student to join your Facebook page than you are to get them to go upload their resume for a job application. And